More heavy rain is expected during the next couple of days, leading to more flooding concerns. We've already had some flash flooding in parts of the region today, especially in the Big Sandy. WYMT's Brandon Robinson has the latest on this severe weather alert day. Brandon.
Steve, it came down fast and it came down furious there for a little while, but things finally starting to wind down for today. Let's take a look and see what's going on out there right now. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. We still have a couple of things to tell you about that goes on for a little while longer, but you see again the bulk of the rain trying to move out. But I did notice on one of the cameras earlier maybe some slight clearing, so we'll keep an eye on that. We also have a look at our camera here in Corbin in just a little bit. Buchanan County and parts of Mingo County under a flash flood warning for a few more minutes until 5 o'clock there. Most of the rain has moved out of that area, and of course we have that active flood warning until 6:30 for parts of Breathitt, Floyd, Johnson, Magoffin, Martin, and Pike counties. So again, just keep an eye out for high water. The flood watch continues until 8 tomorrow night for most of the region. So again, we expect to see that get expanded. I-75 at Corbin's the closest camera we have to the rains down in southern Kentucky. If we head over to Pikeville, they're drying out just a little bit after a day of heavy rain. Looking at temperatures there, 60s and 70s, 180 out toward Irvin. That lets me think that there might be some clearing up that way right now. But again, most of us didn't get out of the 70s today. Dew points, yeah, it's soupy out there. So again, more uncomfortable weather as we head deeper into the daytime hours. And into the night, we start to cool down just a little bit. Some fog possible late. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up in just a little bit. Steve?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, parts of the region did see some flash flooding today as heavy rain moved through some counties for several hours. In Floyd County, floodwaters swept through some neighborhoods, covering roads and entering some homes. Abbott Creek Road in northern Floyd County was at times completely covered by water. Some homes did have water come through as well. David Stumbo has lived on that road for 3 years and said he's seen the water come up like this a couple of times. He said today some parts of the road had knee-deep water.
It's happened a lot of times. The bad thing about here is the creek's lower than what this is, and all the water comes. It jumps the bank up there, comes down through here, tries to get back to the creek.
The people that live in Stumbo's neighborhood say they've expressed their concerns before, but nothing has changed. They are nervous as more rain is in the forecast. They could be hit again. Well, record rain in the St. Louis area overnight caused flash flooding, and it's being blamed for at least one death. The death happened when a car was found in 8 feet of water. CBS's Trinity Chavez has the story.
Evacuees waded through waist-deep floodwaters with their pets, while others hitched a ride with rescue crews in St. Peters, Missouri.
We woke up this morning seeing that this area was underwater, so we all tried to come out as quickly as we could. And we get here and we couldn't go in.
Torrential rain overnight, up to 10 inches in some areas, caused widespread flash flooding in St. Louis and surrounding areas.
It has receded a little bit. Now we're seeing the weight of the water cause some issues with buildings. We're having some partial roof collapse.
Kenneth Brooks thought he could drive through the rising water.
So I'm thinking like, oh, you know, it's not a big deal. No, it is. Because my car stops. I see in front of me there's other cars stopped. My car wouldn't move. I was submerged. I didn't know what to do. I've never been in this situation in my life.
With the rain still coming down, some evacuees arrived at shelters to ride out the storm.
That was a little bit more than I was expecting. Like I said, there was a couple feet of water in there when I left, so probably have to see what made it out.
In downtown St. Louis, crews cleared drains as they worked to reopen roads to help the city dry out and get moving again. Trinity Chavez, CBS News, New York.
The fire chief in St. Louis says his department responded to 70 calls to rescue and assist folks. Officers with the Pikeville Police Department and EMTs from the fire department spent the day rounding up suspects in an effort to clean up the streets. A mission months in the making sent 4 groups of first responders to different areas around Pikeville today to round up suspected drug dealers, an initiative that officers say was a team effort which had significant impacts. 17 arrests were made and nearly 30 warrants were served, which Police Chief Michael Riddle says he's proud to see.
I already got some guns off the streets that was in the hands of convicted felons. We've got more drugs off the streets. We've found that people are still trafficking drugs as we're there to arrest them for trafficking drugs. So yeah, it's a great success already.
Officers say roundups like these are important to them, and they always take the weight of them very seriously, especially when they look at the loss the region has faced in similar situations. Now to a frightening situation in Texas, where a woman was taken into custody after firing a gun in an airport. The suspect was the only person hurt. Police say she fired her weapon near the ticket counter at Dallas Love Field. CBS's Nicole Nielsen has the latest.
This is the moment police shot the suspect at Dallas Love Field Airport, bringing Monday's harrowing ordeal to an end almost as soon as it started.
Our officer engages the suspect, strikes her in the lower extremities. She's taken into custody and is currently at Parkland Hospital.
Authorities say it began around 11 a.m. when the suspect, later identified by police as 37-year-old Portia Adufua, walked into the airport terminal, went inside a restroom, and emerged with a firearm.
She was kind of saying her husband was having an affair of some sort and that she was going to blow the effing airport up.
Bystanders took cover as gunfire erupted and as word made its way across the airport.
People just started running like crazy.
Some visitors locked down, while others were escorted out for safety. The FAA instituted a ground stop for planes that lasted hours, and Southwest Airlines, which uses Dallas Love Field as a hub, canceled 90 flights.
Active shooters at airports do occur from time to time, and most of the time they'll start in the public area, so everybody needs to be watchful.
Jeff Price is an aviation security expert who once served as the assistant security director at Denver International Airport.
Really, it's not a matter of being paranoid all the time. It's simply a matter of being aware of your surroundings, being aware of your circumstances. The thing to add about this is that it can occur anywhere.
Texas state law does allow gun owners with a concealed carry license to have their firearms in this section of the terminal, but police have yet to comment on whether or not the suspect had such a license. Nicole Nielsen, CBS News, Dallas.
The principal of Robb Elementary School in Texas, Mandy Gutierrez, has been placed on administrative leave by the district superintendent. Her attorney confirmed the news yesterday evening. Gutierrez became principal of Robb Elementary last year. In June, she was interviewed by the Special Texas Legislative Committee, where she testified that school administration knew about the faulty lock to the classroom where the shooting took place, but the lock was never fixed. Yesterday, angry parents walked out of another heated school board meeting in Uvalde. They again peppered trustees with questions and criticism. The board took steps to bolster security at existing campuses and start work on a new elementary school.
This district needs to clean house. The issues that brought us to May 24th are deeply rooted, long-standing, and we need change.
Most attendees left the meeting when another speaker suggested the tone of the discussion should change. The district interviewed 16 candidates for its police department last week. Workers will begin installing new security cameras on campuses tomorrow, and school visitors will enter through one door at each building next year. Coming up on First at 4, federal health officials gathered with top scientists and vaccine manufacturers at the White House to discuss efforts to kickstart the next generation of vaccines.
The chance to see more rain will be back into play tomorrow and even Thursday, so you need to have a way to get those alerts in quickly. I'll have the latest forecast coming up in just a little bit.